Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters is a sequel that should not exist, and depending on who you ask, it never did. This is one of the only Nintendo games made in-house, not to release in Japan. And that's not even the worst of it. Kid Icarus is a sad franchise to look at because it never got a chance to succeed. After more than 35 years, there have been 3 games, and the path to even get there was a battle. Back in the prepubescent years of Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda, one man sought to make an adventure game inspired by Greek mythology and Metroid. That man had never made a video game before. Toru Osawa, what an icon. He created my wife. So the story goes that Osawa worked on Kid Icarus all by himself, a Nintendo-funded passion project. But because he was given a strict deadline to complete it, the company locked him in the office, turned off the heat, and made him sleep on cardboard until it was ready to ship. Sounds like a standard sleepover with the boys if you ask me. The crazy part is, he found time to get married in all of this. To who? The rat in the corner? Yeah, I wonder why Kid Icarus never got more love. This was the Stanford prison experiment of gaming. And then they did it again 5 years later. But that's where the mystery begins. Public records about Myths and Monsters development do not exist. But we know Osawa wasn't part of it. So why was this made, and why didn't Japan want it? Nintendo was dominating the gaming industry. I doubt they thought releasing a sequel to an established franchise on their new hardware was too risky. I know Nintendo of Japan doesn't publish games all willy-nilly like their American and European divisions. Here in the States, we have no standards. Little Mermaid straight-to-video pinball and a Player's Choice reprint of Smurfs 8 years after the show was cancelled Game Boy game stained the company's reputation. What did Kid Icarus do to get the cold shoulder? Obviously, someone died making the game, because, as the skeptics always point out, Nintendo makes big announcements after controversy. Which is why 20 years later, they put the game on the 3DS eShop for the "You Can Trust Us Bro, There's No Scandal" price of 400 yen. I'm actually excited to try this game out. I bought it from Club Nintendo back in the day and played it for 28 minutes. Maybe Japan was onto something. Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters is the most by-the-numbers, copy-and-paste, cookie-cutter sequel I've ever seen. You wanna know why Kid Icarus didn't blow up? They ran out of ideas one game in, and that's a shame, because the gameplay, aesthetic, and weirdness to the series should keep it alive longer than the Greek Empire. What makes Myths and Monsters a bigger slap in the face is its story. Palutena has a nightmare that demons attacked Angel Land, so she visits a soothsayer to construe what it means, and he's like, "Babe, I'm a soothsayer. I don't interpret dreams. Troy will be invaded with a wooden horse. Go fuck yourself." So acting on fears of something that doesn't even exist, Palutena sends Pit back to the Underworld to train for the evil she made up. There's a reason this game's been wiped out of the canon. Myths and Monsters is like the exact same game as Kid Icarus, but with a few quality of life updates. One of the first game's biggest issues was its difficulty, and platforming in particular. If you fell off the bottom of the screen, you're finished. So sections with lengthy strings of precarious one-tile jumps required perfection. In Myths and Monsters, if you see a penny back at start, go ahead and grab it. Levels don't unload, so mistakes are forgiven, and backtracking is now possible. There aren't many times where you need to fall down, maybe to dodge an enemy or visit a room you missed, but having that cushion is extremely helpful. Pit can even flap his wings to soften his descent, extending the distance you travel. In addition to those, screen wrapping's removed, not that it was a problem, but this game's camera zoomed in, or the screen is crunched, so levels now seamlessly transition like you're walking on a cylinder. That was a word I forgot existed last time. Yeah, I like this change, because while the original method was unique and memorable, it broke the immersion just enough to pull you out of the world. Here, I can keep running right and convince myself I don't have schizophrenia. The last big change overhauls saving your progress. Back in the day, if you die, you'd get a code you need to write down and punch in if you want to continue where you left off. Well, on that topic, you'll love this. I bought a boxed copy of Kid Icarus after I talked about it, and to my surprise, there was a paper full of passwords included. Dude, I love getting games and opening the past owner's file, but this takes the cake because it's more personal. This is their handwriting. I could type in every code to figure out their story, and then I can flip the sheet over and find out how to be a good parent. Remember, children enjoy learning about God. Hey, me too. Mementos like this will never exist with myths and monsters because they got rid of passwords. Beat a level, save. Start the game, continue. Super duper easy. And as for the other changes, I'll get into them soon. Let's start playing this thing. I can't understate how much Myths and Monsters feels like an alternate dimension version of the first Kid Icarus. Every level is the same, but different. Like, copy off my homework but don't make it look obvious kind of different. It probably took a day to crank this out. That's how uninspired it is. Set pieces are repeated everywhere, fortresses reuse most of their chambers, enemies got surgery but keep their old tricks, and rooms are nothing new. This is Kid Icarus on the Game Boy. There may have been improvements, but there's still a lot of garbage, like the invisible experience bar. Want more health? Want to be stronger? Have enough money to buy anything and use power-ups? Just evaporate the entire snake population. This was a sticking point before, and again, I'd rather waste a productive hour dying to bosses with bullshit overinflated health bars. Enemy health got rebalanced. I used to run past Reapers, now they take 3 hits. But tell me why I still need to hit a boss 100 times to kill it. Oh my god, fuck the Minotaur. It's the first boss and I'm out here making frame perfect dodges to survive. And par for the course, dying makes you play the entire level again. Yeah, I'm salty. I can handle the labyrinths. I would even say they're fun in a painfully tedious, I hate this kind of way. Testing your resilience and memorization, figuring out the quickest path to the exit with pit stops at the hot springs and routine visits at the hospital so a nurse can suck my eggplant on the way is a satisfying feat. If Kid Icarus got a side-scroller reboot, a dungeon creator like the Link's Awakening remake could be a really neat inclusion. Let the people make their 100-room hellscapes and boss gauntlets. I think I claim Claymation or Super Mario Bros. Wonder art style would pair pretty well. It would absolutely sell like shit, but it sounded pretty cool when I made it up a second ago. Anyways, the second boss is shockingly a breeze. And the third one, I don't know. HiJello was my least favorite boss in the first game, and this time he can fly and the screen is smaller, so I was expecting to waste another hour fighting him. But I quickly discovered he can't touch me when I'm pressed against this corner, so it wound up being stupid easy. I was hoping Centurions would return and maybe get improved for the bosses, but they were on vacation. Palutena said, "This great evil that approaches our nation is pits alone to face. Wouldn't want to cause a panic just in case I'm delusional and nothing's gonna happen." I should mention these bosses are unpaid interns guarding the 3 sacred treasures because mommy doesn't want me caught dead or alive with a god-slaying weapon. So instead of practicing flying on my own and mastering the arrow of light, here's a bag of hammers. They're super effective against extraterrestrials. Hammers are just useless now. That's not true. I didn't know you could terraform with them. Kid Icarus took a page from Zelda and expects you to burn every bush to unlock secret doors. They added these new hints where a guy will tell you to look for a hidden door above the stage's entrance and to step in the poison, bro. Trust me. Yeah, I'll take my odds with Palutena, who, after seeing me return with the 3 sacred treasures, only lets me use the Pegasus wings. If this demon's real, I hope he burns down everything. Was defeating Medusa not enough proof of my worth that y'all really won't give me a chest plate? No weapons? You're telling me you had all this time to prepare and you couldn't even? You dumb bitch. The last level in Myths and Monsters is the hardest in the series. Maybe. So when I played the first game, I used save states at the littlest inconveniences. If I got hit once, I reset. But with this game, cheating isn't on the agenda. So far, I've beat everything on my own. I'll need therapy after the Minotaur, but at least my integrity is still intact. What's one more level? To be fair, it was midnight. Retrospectively, it's not that hard. It's only the level I've died in 60 more times than the others. Enemy spawns can kiss my ass, but if you know about hammers, there's a lot of hot springs hidden around here. Orcos is probably the easiest boss in the game too. Why am I defending this shit? Yeah, no, I love having 10 seconds to learn his attack patterns before getting blasted back to start. Just shoot him in the dick until he transforms into a foot. Oh, wait a minute. He has bad posture. That boy is always ready to twerk. I'll give this game credit. Orcos is way more interactive than Medusa. You actually have to participate this time. 100 hit points doesn't make it fun. Tail, pocket bats, fireball. You get to do that 50 times. Forgive me for using a save state. This sucks. The best part of this game is that I only have to beat it once, because Myths and Monsters thankfully just has one ending. No kiss? So instead of multiple endings, you can earn the other sacred treasures by grinding more experience. It always comes back to that. I can put up with grinding to progress in video games, but Kid Icarus does one of the worst jobs with it because it's a side-scroller first of all. I just want to beat the levels, man. That's not stat dependent, but if I don't grind, I miss out on everything that makes the game easy. And if I grind then die, I lose everything that I earn. They should cut it out entirely. Give me 2 health bars, balance the bosses, and Kid Icarus is suddenly a certified classic, but this is the game we got, and Japan didn't want it. So what's the deal? Was it because it's too much like the first game? That can't be true. Tennis got through. Balloon Fighter needed a Hello Kitty sponsor to release in Japan. What ritual does Kid Icarus need to perform? I got hope out here that Osawa is still interested in making a new game. Decades later, and he's still working at Nintendo. His following project, Famicom Detective Club, got a remake in 2021. We know he's thinking about the past, and over the years, several Kid Icarus titles have been cancelled or at least discussed. That's a lot of time to let ideas brew, and the longer they cook, the more they evolve and the better they become. A new 2D Kid Icarus from him has a lot of potential, and the prospect alone makes the wait easier to endure. Thanks for watching the video, I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a like as well to the channel grow, and subscribe to get updates on my uploads as soon as they happen. But until then, I will see you all next time.